Hello, Life Builders. This is a podcast that Team Strong Inc. has designed to keep you on your toes, give you a different perspective, and really push you to create your dream life. We will be talking to you weekly, giving you motivation and encouraging words. Tune in with us every week to hear a piece of clarity. We start this week by talking about emotional intelligence. We all know what your intellectual capabilities are and how we can comprehend and retain information. That's a beautiful thing when you can learn a skill, a new word, or something that someone is teaching you. But how about how you feel? Do you have a grip on your feelings? If you are in any sort of business, you have to have a self-awareness check and get yourself in line. Because in the business world, you need balance. You need intelligence, but you also need to be able to check your emotions. What do we mean by this? Well, anytime you deal with another human being, you are exposed and vulnerable to feeling a certain way from the actions of another person. If you are on lunch break and your boss comes up to you and says, "Hey, I like what you're doing out there. Keep it up." Wouldn't that make you feel good? You would probably feel good about yourself automatically. One reason is because you value your boss's approval, right? You work hard at your job and you would like to be appreciated by your hard work. It's okay. Everyone would. We feel great when we are accepted by others. Now, let's flip that. Say you are on break and your boss comes up to you and says, "Hey, why will you wear that? It makes you look skinny, almost sick." You wouldn't appreciate that, would you? You would probably be in your feelings about it, huh? Of course. How dare him say that to me? You would think. You might even lose your job because your emotions might spark you into cussing him out or blowing up. Well, this is when your emotions might get the best of you, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Let's break this down. You have a life to live, people to provide for. You have yourself to make happy. You have a lifestyle to build. We must become aware of our emotions and control them. Well, easier said than done, right? Let's set some tools for ourselves. We need to look in the mirror and become repetitive with these rules. Before long, you will be exercising this game to the fullest, and no one can stop you. You will be aware of your emotional IQ and know where you stand. Let's go over 3 rules. First rule is to define your task. When you are clear on a set task, this makes it easier to have tunnel vision. Even if you don't have tunnel vision, you can become numb to certain things. I have a job to do is not good enough. Define and be specific with your task. I have to go to work today because I am working on building up my 401k for this down payment for this house in Clear. I have to go to work today because I'm working on building up my 401k for this down payment for this house in Clearwater, Florida, so I can vacation there and rent it out on Airbnb in the summertime. This is specific. When you define your task at hand, you can now move forward and put your blocks in place. Everything that can affect that goal is an obstacle in your game to achieve. Beat that game. When my son was in elementary school, he would get in trouble every day. Like every fucking day. I would spank him every day and then realize he's like me, hard-headed. That didn't work on me. When I was younger, you had to talk to me, so I took that route with him. I asked him why he was always getting in trouble. We figured it out. It was boredom. He didn't have a set goal, so we made one. I told him school is a game, and since he didn't like his teachers, they were the opponent. The game is to get an A, and the teacher could care less if you get it. They already won their game. So when he would go out to school, he has to treat it like a game, and every day he would have to make one step closer to his A. Whether that be pay attention more, not let the teacher have a reason to kick him out, or whatever the case might be, but have a specific task at hand. It allows you to keep your focus on your goal and keep your emotions in check. Try it. It works. Second rule is to understand people are not perfect and they say things from their experiences. I'm a psychology major, so I try to understand where an individual is coming from before I snap out. Like, for example, I am biracial with very light skin, and when I was young, I had very thick and curly hair. I am from Des Moines, Iowa, where at one point it was very uncommon to see biracial kids when I was growing up. Now we are everywhere. However, I went to an elementary school that was predominantly white. They would say the weirdest things to me like, "Why is your hair so rough and curly? You're white." I would get mad all the time and lash out and fight back at times. Then I got to middle school and it was mixed with black and white people. Black people would say, "Look at him trying to act black." I got tired of that and I would always have to defend myself. I started going out to California in the Bay Area visiting family, and it was a totally different world out there. Everyone was mixed up, literally. It was to the point where white people would say the N-word, and it was totally acceptable. It was a culture shock to me. I couldn't believe the first time I heard that. But I quickly found out what a small world I was from. The kids in Cali would say, "You are from small little Iowa," and laugh. They opened my eyes to so much more. So I came back to Iowa and it looked different to me. I had to fight so much here because they just didn't understand that I was different. Small town Iowa folks couldn't see bigger and understand, is what I had to tell myself. So that made me accept people for who they were. From that point forward, if someone said something, I deemed it ignorant. I would think that they just don't know, and I really don't have to get mad about it. I can either try and teach them or just let it go. But would it sway me off my square? Not at all. Will I get emotional? Not at all. That isn't their fault. They don't understand. They might get there one day. It's not personal. Don't take it that way. Charge a lot of what people say to you in their past experience and leave it at that. Don't let other people's opinion get you flustered. It's tough, I know, but it takes a lot of practice. And when you are a life builder, you need to practice this skill because it can open up doors for you. It keeps you in your logical mindset and away from your emotions, which can destroy you. How many of us know someone in prison from making a split-second decision based off of emotions? How many of us have said something we didn't mean to in the heat of an emotional moment? We have to learn how to keep these feelings in check. In the weeks to come, we will go over ways to do this, but for now, let's start practicing the art of balance and control of our life, legacy and lifestyle. Let's build the life we want by doing what we need to do, step by step. Control your emotions, and until next time, keep building. Live life, and join us next week as we discuss more in depth how to go about building your life. But you have to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned with us. We would also like to send a thank you to our sponsors Con Amor Catering, where they make food with love. See you next time.